So, probably going to ruffle some feathers here and not taking any shots at any particular breaker or breakers. I actually have not used Platinum Card Breaks. Looks like a pretty legit website and group of guys. Yeah, so I just pulled kind of some of the more popular, just first first companies or first breakers that came up when Googling it. So they were kind of towards the top of the list. That's the only reason I pulled them, and they have one currently active right now. An entire case, 20-box case of blasters. Pick your team. So I have it on the Bengals right now, which is going to set you back $350. So obviously by the title, you know kind of what's going on. This is not a good idea as far as an investment standpoint. As far as an entertainment value, that's another story. But as far as an investment, to spend $350 on a chance of getting basically a high dollar Joe Burrow out of one of 20 blasters, it's just not the smartest thing that you can spend your $350 on. You could get 0 Joe Burrows out of that 20 box. You could get, theoretically, nobody. No T. Higgins, nothing. I don't think that that's likely with 20 blasters. Out of one case, you're probably going to hit some players. You're probably going to hit a Joe Burrow or two. Here's the problem with that. For you to make money on this, you have to hit like at least 4 Joe Burrow base cards, or you have to hit some parallels. And notice I said parallels plural, because if you hit just one like red cracked ice Burrow, yeah, you're super happy. But are you? Because you spent $350 on the team. So, I mean, here's some of what Joe Burrow is going for right now. You have an 85, a 58, that's 15 bids. Sold yesterday. This is a 2 card that sold for 71. Had an additional card with it. Had an additional jersey patch silver card with this one. I can't see it, but obviously less than 115. This one went for $91. That's kind of on the high end, $90 there. This one $35, but you can see read description. There's obviously something wrong with that one. Yeah, it looks like there's 100. Yeah, 107. 107. Wow. Okay, so yeah, I mean there's not sure why that one went for so much, but what was that? So I mean, obviously you're seeing the average be around kind of that $80 mark. 89, 91, maybe $85. Let's call it $85 is the going rate for a good condition base prism of Joe Burrow. So okay, you can get 2 for 160. You can get 4 for 320. And need I remind you, this is $350. And this is just buying them in singles. You might be able to find a lot like this person had. Of course, that's a base, a black and white, and then emergent. And that's 150. but it's two. You know, it's a base and a parallel. That's pretty eye-opening there. I mean, this is kind of what you're looking for. So you're saying, well, that's not really what you're hoping for. You're not hoping for base cards when you enter a break of 20 blasters. You're hoping to hit a little bit more valuable of a card. Well, this is a red cracked ice. It's plausible that you hit one of these. Okay, 175, 143, 127, 125, $100, 175, 145. See, and you're probably looking at getting, I mean, you can probably get one anywhere in the $150 range, depending on when you're buying. You can get yourself a red cracked ice. Let's see what this one is. And if you're wondering, this is 130 point. You can look up sold eBay listings. You can do that on eBay too, but this actually will pull any that accepted offers lower than the asking price for buy it nows. So yeah, Orange Disco, you know, we're looking at 150s for these as well. So those in the red cracked ice are probably hovering around about the same area. You know, some much higher. You can see 160, 190, but you can also see where somebody got one for $78. So it's just, I mean, like I said, you're gonna have to hit multiple burrows in order for that to be worth it. Otherwise, you're going to have to hit an auto, which an auto is not guaranteed at all out of this case that I'm aware of. Yeah, I just, and if you've opened any of the 2020 Prism product, I have. It's been significantly underwhelming, to say the least. So I just don't see the value when you're spending $350, even on a case, when you're limiting yourself to one team. When you're limiting yourself to what you can actually pull versus what you can just go buy the singles for. And by the way, when you pull it, or when the breaker pulls it out of that box, that's not guaranteed that it's centered. No print lines, no dinged corners, anything like that. You're still potentially dealing with a lot of those manufacturing defects that is going to cause this card not to gem. Whereas on eBay or in person at a card show or something like that, you can actually look at the individual cards and see, you know, at least with a little bit better degree of certainty, whether you think that this card has a chance of gemming. Now, some of the surface issues are probably going to be more difficult to determine on an eBay listing if you're not looking at the card in person, but you can check centering on eBay. You can check the corners and the edges to a certain extent on eBay. You can't do that when it's in a box. So that's my only concern. And that's for 350. There's other breakers on Instagram, Twitter, websites, Discords, everything, where it's a kind of mixer of Mosaic and Prism. It's a couple of retail Prism boxes and a Mega and a hobby box or something. You know, no telling how they're going to put it together, but from what I've seen, the Bingles usually range around $72 to over $100, even for some of those smaller breaks. And when you're dealing with those smaller breaks, you have less of a chance of hitting something big. You know, if they've got a Mega involved, that's a guaranteed auto, but the chances of you hitting a Joe Burrow auto is super slim. So yeah, I mean the main thing there is on these breaks is you're not looking for a Joe Burrow. You're looking for a big Joe Burrow. A silver, a short print, like a checkerboard, or maybe a auto, or a numbered parallel. But outside of that, it's just hard to make up your initial investment. However, it's so much fun to enter these breaks. And I say all this having just last week entered a break and bought the Bengals at $72 for this 2 megas, 3 blasters. It was all retail. And the Bengals were $72. I bought them. I bought a couple other teams as well. I don't think I hit any Bengals. I don't think I hit a T. Higgins, or I know I didn't hit a Burrow. And so that kind of goes to my point. Instead of spending the $72 to buy the Bengals, if you're looking at it from a sheer standpoint of investment, and I'm using this money because I want a Joe Burrow, I want to hit a Joe Burrow, and then grade it or hold on to it until next year starts. If you're thinking about it in terms of that, I mean, the eBay sold listings, just go look them up yourself. Go to 130 point. It's, I mean, anywhere $70 to $90. And that way you're guaranteed to get one that you can see a picture of before it gets to you. Just some things to think about. Now, like I said, I did join a Bengals break. I'm probably going to join another one at some point because it's not all about the odds or anything like that. Sometimes, even though it's a bad investment, you just want the entertainment value plus the chance of hitting a big, huge card. Even though you know it's unlikely and not going to happen, it's still fun to drink. It's like buying a Powerball ticket. You know you're not going to hit the Powerball. But it's that what if in the back of your mind. So that's kind of what this is. It's like a scratcher or a Powerball ticket. Like, yeah, okay, I mean, maybe I hit it, but chances are I'm not. But maybe I pick up a T. Higgins or something like that, and it's all worth it. Here's my other word of warning here. We went through the Bengals. My other thoughts are the Vikings. $41. Why? They have one rookie that you're chasing. It's Justin Jefferson. That's it. One rookie. It's a wide receiver. For $41. You know what teams are cheaper than that? Rams. I forget what they go for. Somewhere around $25, I want to say. You can get Cam Akers, Van Jefferson. What about the Broncos? And before Jacob Eason made a huge splash and caused the Colts prices to go up, the Colts were huge because I was like, you can get Jonathan Taylor. Michael Pittman and Jacob Eason. And back before Rivers announced his retirement, Jacob Eason was kind of not really thought of too much in the card industry as far as being a good buy. And now all of a sudden his cards went crazy, and I have a feeling they're going to come plummeting back down to earth real soon. Because I think the Colts are probably going to end up getting Matthew Stafford. If I'm reading the tea leaves right, that kind of seems like where it's all headed. But yeah, I mean, the Colts were like, I mean, somewhere in that $40 range, and they had 3 potential rookies that you could hit, one of which was a quarterback, even though he's not a starting quarterback at that time. And now they're up to like $65 or something for the Colts, which I think is a little high for them now. Yeah, I mean, the main reason I was going after the Bengals is because, like, okay, well, you've got the chance of hitting a Burrow, and if you don't hit on the Burrow, you still have T. Higgins possibilities. Rams, you have the running back and the wide receiver. Broncos, you got a couple of wide receivers you can hit. Colts, you just have so many different options. The Vikings, you have one player you're chasing. That's it. And it's expensive. Very expensive for that. I mean, you think about that. Yeah, he may be the rookie of the year. And look, I'm an LSU fan. I'm a huge Justin Jefferson fan. Love Justin Jefferson. But it's not worth it to spend $41 for the Vikings in a break. Again, what are you chasing? You can get an orange disco, or you could. I don't know what the current prices are, but you used to be able to get an orange disco, Justin Jefferson, for $40. Sometimes cheaper. And so now you gotta hit 2 Justin Jeffersons, or a much more desirable parallel than the orange disco. Again, goes back to what are your odds? You have to think about this if you're thinking about it from a standpoint of I'm going into this break. It's going to be fun, but at the end of the day, I'm spending some money. I want to get some cards and turn around and flip them. It's likely not going to be worth it if you're going after some of these teams. I've been in a couple breaks so far, and like I said, just underwhelming. So, do what you want. While we're here, I'll discuss a little bit about my second break that I entered into. This one was one where I picked the Bucks. It was a $61 pick your team plus you get a BOGO. And again, like you had the top 4 teams were locked. That was the Bengals, Dolphins, Chargers, Eagles. So they were all locked as one of the BOGO teams. So you had a 1 in 4 shot of getting one of the top 4 teams. So 16 people picked 16 teams. I was the last person to select a team. I selected 16th, and I selected the Buccaneers because they have a wide receiver, they have a running back, and they have Tom Brady. And so I figured I could probably make some money on some of those cards. Maybe I hit a huge numbered Tom Brady or an auto or something like that. Otherwise, hoping to get in the top 4 for my BOGO team, maybe I can pick a Bengals, and then for $60 I have, Bengals and the Bucks. It didn't work out that way. I got the Bengals, I got the Bucks and the Patriots. 2 pretty bad teams to get, especially when you're spending $60. So I really got beat up on that break. Got some good cards. I'll go through those now, and you can see kind of some of what I picked up. I mean, out of the break, I probably got the most best cards. As far as quantity, quality, it's a different story. Not thinking I'm going to make up my $62 investment for those 2 teams, but it was fun. And like I said, sometimes I just want to to kill a few hours and then watch somebody rip open some wax. So that's what it was. That's what we did. But when you go to buy some of these teams, just really think about what you're doing and think about, is that where you want to spend your money? Is that where you want to put your disposable income or your investment money? And is that the wisest use for that money? Alright guys, enough of me being Debbie Downer. Those breaks are still fun as all get out. I'm still going to enter more breaks because they're super fun. And but just know you're paying for the entertainment. It's kind of like when you go to the casino. Do you expect to walk out of there with 10x your money? Or are you just going there to pass the time, have some fun, and the potential to walk out with more money than you brought in, even though you know that may not be necessarily likely? So depending on how your attitude is, will depend on whether you should put some money into a break. Cool guys, thanks for stopping in, thanks for checking it out. Let me know what you think. Have you hit any bangers in a break and you think I'm just terribly wrong about this or what? Smash that like button, let me know in the comments. Thanks.